Okay. So okay.
Aniket, before I
Hmm.
forget, the PPT you have created, I think it
Hmm.
is not shared anywhere. I think I
Okay.
checked in Google Drive also. It was not there.
Okay. 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 I'll upload that there as well, and I'll also share in this group
Yeah.
just after this call. Okay. Sure, I'll do that. Guys, as I told you that we were looking into that static and non-static variables and methods concept. Where we got to know that how to declare and static variable just like by using the static keyword, and how to declare and static methods just use an static keyword before that return type. Okay, so also like we also discussed what is the use of static and non-static. So maybe static method when we use when we have some common functionalities, okay, and some common feature. We also looked an example of car, just like all the cars have four wheels, so this is a common property across all the cars. So it's not good practice to define every time a new variable for each car, like, so it's better to define a single at a single place and use that throughout the application directly. Also, some methods, there might be some common methods just like start. In case of car, just like start is a method. Okay, so so we can define it like common method. Okay, we can start a car. Every car is going to start before working. So yeah, this kind of thing we can use. Let me quickly create a class. Let us say I have created one class called A. Okay, I have created one class. Okay, and I can create in C sharp. I can create uh, multiple classes under a single namespace. I'll talk on that concept a little bit later. So I have created one class called class A. Okay, let me define the main method for this class. Public static main method is always static. Just remember this. Okay, so where this would be stored, in which memory, where are, like, there are two kind of memory, heap memory and stack memory, right? So where the static variables or methods will get stored, I already told you this. You just need to answer.
It is the heap memory, high frequency heap.
Yeah, high frequency heap, exactly. Good. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I have created one class called class A, and let me this is called, say, main method of class A. Okay, just printing a line. And let me quickly create one more class. Let us say class directly B class. In B class, let me define one more main method, and this is the main method of class B. Okay. So can I? My question to you is that can I call B class main method inside A class main method? Here I have A class. Here I have B class. So both of the classes having main method. This is main method of B class, uh, main method of class B. Yep, right. And for the A as well, we have main method. This is the main method. So can I call B class main method inside A class main method? So let us check it. Can I do that or not? Let me check it. B is our class dot main. So yeah, this is allowed. I can call that. Okay. So the answer of my question was yes. I can call by using the class reference. Static is directly called by using the class name. So I just used class name over here. I just use class name b dot main. So which main method would be called over here? The main method first, this line will get printed, then the compiler will go over here, will compile this CLI, then this particular line should get printed. Got it? Okay. Okay. Now, if I'll execute this, let me execute it and see the output. For that, to execute it, like if I need to execute, just say class A. So I need to set the methods from properties, application, and startup object as yeah, from here. I need to class A because I need to execute it. Got it? Let me execute it. What kind of output I'll get? Let's execute it from here. Okay. So here is my console. Always remember this black window is called console window, console output window. Okay. And initially the first execution will take little more time just to serialize, like converting code into the bytecodes and kind of stuff. Okay, let me close it and run it again. Yeah. So you see, first my class main method of class A got executed. Then I have called main method of class B. So then main method of class B got executed. Got it? Now, my second question to you is, can I call A class main method inside B? My question to you is, can I call A class main method inside the B? Yes.
I think first we have to make B as a default class main method to be executed, but it will go into log. First A class main method, then B class method.
Yeah, that okay. That okay. The default man method is just to execute that, but like I'm just calling the man method over here. So simply, can I use like if I need to call A class man method over here inside the B? So can I do that? Yes, of course I
Yes.
can do that. Yeah, the same thing, right? I'm calling B over there, B man method over there, and A over here, right? So if I'll execute this, what kind of problem we can face? If I'll execute this, my program will come first because this is my default man method. So execution will come over here. Okay. And this will go inside man. Okay. So means this man method will get executed. Now this line will get printed. Okay. And again, my execution will come over here. Okay. Will come inside this method. This line will get printed. And again, this will be called like bman method. You think like this is a never ending process, just like the things that we used to achieve from loops. The same kind of thing will happen over here. Do we have any breakpoint or kind of thing over here? The loop, this is not a loop, but these both of the methods will consistently like calling each other, right? First this line will get printed, then main method of B class will get called, then this line got printed, then again we have called the main method of A class, then again this entire block will get executed, and inside this block we have again the main method of B class, then again this entire block will get executed. So so on this particular main method of both classes will keep getting executed. How long? Maybe infinite times. Okay, let's execute it and see the output. Just a second, guys. Let me stop. Yes, guys. So you see that this is getting executed infinite times. You see, this is not getting stopped. Execution is not getting stopped over here. So how long it now? We are getting some man method. You see, infinite time is started getting executing. Now we are having some errors. We can see if we are able to see this. Okay. Initially, we were printing some statement. Now, can you hear me? I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, let me. That is possible. We can analyze. Okay, let me minimize this. And if you will mouse over to this, F5. Okay, I have stopped that. So you see, like the execution was consistently. First we were printing A and we were printing B. Again, like both of the methods will calling each other, and the consistently output with. I was like to show you one error. Okay, so is that got displayed or not? Okay, so at there is an error. I think due to lots of logs that didn't get printed, maybe on console and everywhere. Okay. So always remember we are not doing any kind of loop over here. Okay. So what is the concept over here? Practically we'll not use this kind of thing in while doing any kind of coding. But like this might be an interview question. So what happened? So while executing this, after some time, maybe 100 or 200 or 500, that depends upon the memory, we will get an error called stack overflow error. Okay, we'll get a stack overflow error. So what happened, like as I told you that C sharp deals in two kinds of memory. One is heap and one is stack, right? As I already have explained you, let's say this is heap, and here we have stack. Okay, so you see, like the stack in PPTs, I have mentioned this point. We have stack and queue. So stack works on last in first out. Okay, so the stack, it's part of collection also. Stack LIFO, last in first out, and queue works on first in first out, FIFO concept. So what is happening over here in our case? What we are doing, first we are calling, let us say we have a class, and a class main method is executed now, and we have B class and B main method. Okay, now what is happening? First, you see A class main method is getting executed, then A is calling B, and again then B is calling A. So this keeps on rotating, and they are printing the statement. So what is happening inside the stack? Stack don't have methods, but like the stack has sequence. Stack don't have storage, but store will arrange this in sequence, just like the man A class man method, and in sequence this will execute in stack, then B man, then again A man, okay, B man, and so on. So just like we have A man, AM, let us say BM, this is again AM got executed, this is called BM executed. So maybe stack have some maybe like 100 GB or 200 GB, this have particular space, okay, maybe 100 MB. So its stack is not in dynamic memory. So what happens after some time, maybe like all the references, all the methods that we are executing, so that might be we can say that is kind of overflow over there. So that is the memory is now required more than that the stack already have. So this time it's saying, hey, I am overflow, like I cannot execute this statement since more. So that's why the stack overflow error is coming over here. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of this. Sometimes the interviewer may ask you like, what is the Stack Overflow concept? So you can directly explain this over here. So if we call like two methods, they are calling each other, then there would be thousands of like iteration of the methods would be there, and in that case, we will face the Stack Overflow error over there because the stack is already full, and that stack memory cannot execute that statement again. Okay, so this was just a small topic. Just I just want to cover from the interview perspective. Is that okay? Any question on this? Okay. Now let us see. Uh, Let me create one more class. Let's create a class called person. Do we have any class? Such class? No, I guess no. I have added one class. Okay. Let's remove this. In person class, I have. mm, let's create main method first. Right. Now I'm creating some more methods inside this class. Let us say public void. I have one m1 method. Create m1 method. Yes, I do. Let me create one more method. Public void m2. Okay. So void means we are not getting any return from this method. Public means we can access them anywhere. This is the name of the method, and we are not using static keyword with this. Okay. And let us say we have one more method called public void m3. Okay. Print something inside this. Let us say m1 method m1. Okay. Similarly, like same line like m2 and m3. Method m2, method m3. Okay. Cool. Are we on same page? Nothing. Just I defined one class and created some methods, and we already have one main method. Okay. Now, if I need to call this, if I need to print this line methods m1, or I need to execute the method m1, then what should I need to do? Can I call it directly inside the main method, or do I need to create the object of the class because it's non-static? Obviously, this is non-static method, so I need to create the object of the class. Okay, let us say object is like person. Let's comment this line. So my class name is person. Let us say p is equal to new person. Okay, let us say we have created person. Okay, this is the object. This is object reference. Now, if I need to call m1, then simply I can do that. We already have seen this concept at the time of methods, non-static, static every time. Okay. Now, if I'll execute this, then what I'll get as an output? I should get like which method will get executed? Only m1. Let's execute it and see the output. Oh, sorry. We need to change the reference of the method. Otherwise, the Stack Overflow is, yeah. So, where is the object? We have person. Cool. Okay. So, if I'll execute this, then only method one should get executed. Yeah, method 1. Correct? Okay. Now, if I need to call, can I call, let us say, can I call method M2 inside M1? If I need to call, let us say M2 inside M1, can I call that? How will I call like method M2 inside M1? So methods can call each other, right? So yeah, so all these are the part of object. Okay, so to call these internally, we need don't require to create the object. I can directly call it over here because if this is non-static, if I need to call M2 over here, then I can do that directly. Okay, right? Because see guys, to if I need to execute M2 method, then I need to execute it from here. Okay, if I need to execute it, like then I need to create the object. Okay, but like for an example, my entire body is an object, so I can touch my both hand together. Both are two different methods. So similarly, these methods can be called directly. Even this is non-static method, but like these are the part of same classes. Both are non-static, so they can call each other. M2 can be called inside M1, but can I call M2 directly over here? Can I call M2 directly over here just like this? No, I cannot do that because there would be an error. Okay, object reference required because this is a static method. Always remember. Okay, so for that, if I need to call M2 over here, then I need to use the object reference. If I'll do the p1 dot M2, then I can do that. Okay, then there would be no such error. Okay, now but like if I need to call M2 directly inside M1, then just I can call it directly. Got it? And can I call similarly just like I have called M2 inside M1? So can I call like M3 inside M2? Yes, I can do that. I can directly call that. Okay. So always remember this diagram in your mind. Just like we have an object. Okay. And in object we have different methods, just like M1, M2, M3. So these objects are can call each other without creating object as they are part of the object. Okay, this entire is an object and these are the methods. They can call each other. This can call this method. Okay, and they can call this and this can do. Okay, now like p1 is the object reference of this, right? So yeah, if p1 needs to call this, then that would be needed, that object. But like if they are calling each other, then there is no as such object is required because they all are the part of the object. Okay, now if I'll execute this, then what kind of the output will I get? Only M1 will get printed or like other statement as well? Obviously others should also get printed because as soon as y execution will come over here, print this line, then call M2 directly. Okay, then my access will come over here, we will print this line method M2. Then again the next line is will go inside the M3. Means we over here we have just called only M1, but our logic is written in such a way that all the method will get executed. This concept is called method chaining. We have chained the method. Okay, so this entire concept is called method chaining. Okay, let me execute it and see the output. Let's analyze the output. Okay, yeah, so my method M1 got executed, then M1 is calling M2, so M2 got executed, and then M2 is calling M3, so M3 got executed. So my all method got executed. This is called method chaining. You got the concept? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let me create. This is all about the non-static methods. Let me create some static method as well. Let us say I have public static static public static. Let us say S1 method. S stands for static. Okay, S1, and let's print this line. Let's say method S1 static method S1. So return type would also need to be mentioned over here. S1. Let me create more methods S2, and similarly the same methods. Those are non-static, and we have created static. Okay, this is static method S2 and static method S3. Okay. Now my question is that, let me explain you. Just a second. Can S1 call directly M1? We have S1 over here. This is a static method. Can it call directly the M1 method? S1 is static. S1 is the method S1 is static, and M1 is non-static simply. So think and answer. Like, if I need to call M1 over here, can I do that? I need to call M1 over here. Can I do that? Ashwini, any thoughts? Inside the static, if I
I
need to also give the reason, like if yes, then why? If no, then why?
I think we have to call as we have called in main method because as main method is static and we have to have the object to call any method inside it. For static also we have to follow the same principle.
Yes, if I need to call, because main method is also in static and this is method is also in static. So over here we have created an object, and by using the object reference we are calling this. So can I do like this, like p1.m1 over here, the object reference p1.m1? Can I do like this, p1.m1 there as well? No, I cannot do that, because the access of this object will remain inside main method only. If I have created an object, then I this p1 cannot be used outside of this main method, right? So for that I need to create the object of person class again. Got it? If I need to access the non-static method inside a static method, then I can do that. Yes, I can access that, but again I need to create an object of the class. Let us say person, let us say p2 is equal to new person. Then by using p2 I can call that. Got it? If I need to access the non-static methods inside the static method, then I need to create an object of that class to access that methods. Okay, right. You got it? Now let me say, if I need to call, let us say m2 over here, then by using this p2 reference I can call like m1, m2, m3, everything I can call over here, right? Let us say if I need to call, this is my s2 method, static second static method, and if I need to call again m1 over here, so can I use it like p2 dot? No. For that I again need to create an object to call that non-static methods. Let me say p3, p3 dot. Now I can access all m1, m2, m3. Got it? Yeah. Let us say m1 or m2, whatever I want. I can call it over here, right? So every time if I need to access a non-static methods inside the static methods, then I need to create the object of that particular class. And by object reference, I can call all my non-static methods. Okay. But if I need to, vice versa, if I need to call, let me say, S1 is my static methods. This is my static method. And I want to call it inside non-static method. Let me say, if I need to call it over here, so can I call it directly? Yes, I can do that because we don't need any object while calling the static methods. You got it? Because this will get loaded as soon as the class will get loaded. This non static method will also get loaded. So we don't need even inside man method we don't require. If I need to call S1 over here, I can directly call that. Even over here also we don't need any kind of object. So this is kind of a little bit like tricky, but you just listen this lecture again, you will easily got the concept. So what I'm doing over here, I just simply calling S1. Why this is allowed to call the directly? Because S1 is an static method. Okay, so always remember in static methods you can call only static methods. Okay, but if you want to call non-static methods, then you need to create the object. So for an example, S1 is my static method. Can I call S2 directly? Yes, I can do that. Okay, I can call S2 directly over here. Because why it's allowed? Because S2 is an static method. Got it? Okay. So is it a good practice to create methods again and again? Just like if I need to call inside this static method, if I need to call the non-static, then I have created an object m1, m2, m3, and in this also, if I need to access m1, m2, m3 non-static method, then I have created an object. Similarly, if I need, I have like multiple static methods, so it's not in good practices, right? Every time we need to create object again and again to access the non-static methods. Okay, so this is not a good practice. So in the upcoming sessions, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, uh, we will talk about the call by value and call by reference. Okay, call by value and call by reference. So call by using this, I'll tell you the concept. After applying that concept, you need not to create object again and again. You will just create one object. How that will exactly work? Just like what we'll do. Simply, we will create a single object. Okay, and then let us say we have multiple like methods. So let us say we have one method. Okay, called P2. Oh, so we will provide, let's say we have multiple method, let's say P is equal to Q is equal to R. I'll explain you at that time, don't worry. So we will provide that like reference of Q to P and P to Q and Q to R, just like we were doing like user1 is equal to U2, U2 is equal to U3. So we will just provide the reference to each methods. So this is how the same method have three references. Okay, now we will provide the same object reference to all these three methods. Means a single object can be accessed by all three methods, then we'll come out of this problem that we are facing over here. Okay, so this, just take it as an example of method chaining. So I hope you have understood how to call method inside method. You can directly call it if both are like non-statics, and if one of our method is like static and you need to call non-static method, then you need to create the object of the class, and if the method static, then you can call it directly. Okay, so you got the concept of method chaining and static non-static. Is there any confusion, doubt, Aswini? Just see.
No doubt.
Okay, so my question to you, Aswini, is like, is C sharp is like 100% object oriented? I also have discussed this point previously.
Mm, I think it is partial. We had already
Yes, it's
discussed.
partial. Yeah, yeah. Don't use the word it, I think, because due to this static kind of concept. Because in static, object oriented means always works on the objects. But yeah, if we are taking static, because the C sharp have both primitive and non-primitive data type. We also have classes, objects, static keyword. So when we are using static keyword, then we will not create an object of the class. So this is not an object oriented concept. Okay, always remember this point. It may be asked at the time of interview. Okay, got it. So it's partial. Now let me tell you one more concept. Can I create a class as static in C sharp? Here we are creating the variables as static. Just these are the variables as static. Some methods as static. So my question is like, can we create entire class as static? That means internal static class employee. Yes, this is possible. Like in many programming language, this is not possible, but in C sharp, it's possible. We can create a static class. Okay, but that class would have some properties. Let me create a static class. Let us say uh, my class name is maths. Okay. So can I use the static keyword over here? Public static. Will it be allowed? Yes, it's allowed in C sharp. Always remember. But this would be having yeah some properties like yes static. Yeah, I see. Class concept is allowed in C sharp. Okay. So how to define a static class? By using define using static keyword, right? That we just did. We use static keyword before class. Internal. This is access modifier. Static class. This is the class name. Okay. Okay. Always remember the static class will always static class will always contain uh, will contain only static members. Means only static methods. Static members mean variables and methods. Okay, static variables and static methods. If you have declared your class as static, then only static methods and static variables are allowed in that class. You cannot create non-static members. Got it? Okay. This may be asked in the interview. Okay. And one more property is like we can't create object of the static class. Okay, we cannot. It cannot be instantiated. Object creation means we cannot instantiate it. Let us say can't in not instant. So do we really need the object of this class? We don't need, because as just read this line. This will have only static properties, sorry, static methods and static variables. So if my methods and like variables are static, then I really don't need the object of this. I'll directly call my methods and variables. Okay. So also, like, we cannot create the object of this. If we'll going to create the object of this, then at the compile time we are going to face an error. Okay. And yeah, these are the small things that you need to uh, remember. And also, like, it's a sealed class. I'll also explain you the sealed concept at the time of inheritance. It's sealed. Sealed means inheritance not allowed. means we cannot inherit this class from different class. Okay, we cannot inherit it. Just remember this, it's an sealed class. Inheritance not allowed. This is kind of abstract class. Okay, so I have internal class maths over here. Let me create some variables. Let us say, let me create one variable, public. Okay, or I can direct like public static. Static keyword is must. Let us say I have float value. Pi. You have heard about the pi. What is the value of pi in maths? Pi math.pi, or let us say 3.14f. Right? This is the value. This is just an variable. Can I declare non-static variable just like public? Sorry, if I need to just like integer a is equal to 10, and I define it like this. It's not allowed. It's saying cannot declare instance member in the static class. Okay, cannot declare instance members in the static class. If I use static keyword over here, then it's allowed. Always remember this line, static will contain only static members, static class. Okay, will contain only static members, means if I'll try to declare non-static variables and method, then these are not allowed. Okay, let me create one more method as over here. Let us say public. So method should also be static. Public static. Let us say integer. We need to calculate the cube. This is my method cube. Let us say I'll provide some integer value from here. Let us say some number. Integer some number or n. Okay. So this is showing some error. What is the error? This is saying okay, not allowed code return a value, not all paths return. So we have taken this as an integer type. So we also need to take a return type. Otherwise, we need to define void over here. Okay. So let me do some calculation. Simply return. How to calculate cube? So let us say n multiply with n multiply with n. So this is how we can calculate cube of any number. Cube means the thrice value. Just like the cube of 2 is 2 to the 2 to the 4, 8. We'll provide 8, 2, then we'll get output as 8. We'll provide 3, then output will get even 27. Okay. So this is how I just simply don't go on the example, just simply understand the concept. This should be static, method should be static. All the members of static class should be static in nature. Okay, let me create a main method to call this value public static void main. Okay, let me call that. Let me say if I need to print this value, console.writeLine. Let us say value of pi is let us say pi. I'm just printing that value, and let me call that method as well. Print. Let me calculate the cube, or let us say cube of 3 is, let us say we call that method cube inside this and provide. So let's see, like if I need to call this method inside over here, I can directly call it. Okay, I need not to create the object of this class, or this another method. How can I call it? Like use the math class name math.cube, right? Because this is an static method. Okay, and provide, let us say 3 inside this. Got it? Yeah, let me execute it and analyze output, whether we'll get correct output or not. Now we are dealing with the static class. sorry, I need to give startup. What was the name of our class? It's match. Yeah, let's execute it again. Yeah, so we got the correct output value of pi is 3.14 and the cube of 3 is 27. Correct? So always remember these points that I already have written over here. Static class concept is allowed in C#, and this is how you should define. Okay, if like we use this class in when we are sure that yeah these are the fixed values, and that will be that will be used throughout the application. So like when to use static methods, when to use these kind of classes. So always if my some of the properties are consistent throughout the application, just like if I have an e-commerce application. Okay, uh, in my e-commerce application, let me not able to select this. Okay, guys, can you hear me? I guess
Yes.
this. Okay,
Yes.
got this. I think this got hanged. The Teams. Sorry, the Skype. Okay, as soon as this got fixed, let me explain you. This got hanged screen. Not able to do anything. Okay, maybe my printer got stuck. Escape. Oh, something unexpected happened. So, like when I'll use these static things, for an example, I have an e-commerce application where I need to search something. So, if that search button is like available throughout my application, okay, in on every page the search button is available. So, we'll define the search as an static or maybe some logo. Every page the logo is same. So, logo is static that is used everywhere. Okay, let's fix this and then I'll explain you practically. I don't know what happened to this. My entire screen got freezed. I'm not able to do anything. Okay, okay. Now got it. Sorry. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Maybe due to this editor. Okay. So let us say I was explaining that I have this is an application. Maybe this is a search box, and if is like common for all the pages, then we will use that. Maybe can we see some practical example? Let me open Static Overflow I was looking into. Let me open it. Let's search an application called demo.opencart. This is an dummy shot. Yeah. So you see, I have a search button over here. Okay. If I need to search, let's say Mac products, MacBook, and click on the search button. Okay. So you see, like maybe their products are not missing, like not available over here, but like the search button is still over there. Let us say I'm searching Samsung. Maybe the product might be available or not, but you see these are the results of these are some Samsung products available over here. So the concept is this search button is always available. Doesn't matter like which product is getting displayed below or not. This search button is always there. So we'll always use like static, and the developers will define this search field as a static because throughout the application it's being used. Also like these footers may be same throughout these footers. So maybe all these footer values should be defined as static in the real time programming, right? Because if for every page we need not to define or declare these are hyperlinks, or we can say string type of values. So we need not to create so many different strings for each and every page. This is my Samsung page, for an example, Samsung product page. So we'll just, or maybe some logo or kind of thing that are same on every page. Okay, in real time as well, when we will work on the Selenium, then it depends, like in our application, few of the things might be static, that will not change, right, Ashwini? I hope you are getting my concept, because you are good in manual testing concept. So you do understand, like in applications there are few things that are static, that they would be same.
Yes.
Okay, correct. Okay, so I hope you have understood this concept. Okay, let me this is okay. So till now, in today's class, we have understood the Stack Overflow concept, and the method chaining concept, how to call the static method in the method chaining, and like call static and non-static methods. And we'll also understand in this upcoming classes about the Stack Overflow, the object reference, that reference type, or call by value, call by reference kind of thing over there. Okay, so we'll also like understand that kind of concept. Okay, and one more thing over there is, like, we have a concept of, in some other programming like in Java and Python, we have one concept of, like, uh, that is you know there that is known by like static calling, but I think C sharp doesn't support that. C sharp will support in different manner, that I'll need to cover at the time of constructor. Okay, let me explain you that concept. What is that? And I'll explain the constructor in separate session. Okay, let me create one more class. Let us say test class. Okay, this is my test class. Not use that. And I have a man method over here. Public static void man, right? And let us say print CW. This is my man method. Now, if I need to executed some code before this man method, then is it possible in C sharp? Yeah, uh, this is possible in multiple, in like in most of all the languages, but in a different way. This is also possible, just like this is my C sharp. Okay, for an example, I have in method, let us say public, maybe it's an static method, public static, let us say m1 again. This is void type. I have one method, let us say, or we can say test method, print test. Okay, this is, so if I need to call this particular like method inside m1, then I can simply directly call it, because it's an static. Okay, I can directly call it. But what if there is a some code, let us say I want to print this line before, if I'll execute this, then first my main method will execute, this line will get printed, and then this line will get printed. The test means first main and then test. Let's execute it and see the output. Okay. Oh, yeah, every time I'm missing that concept. Properties. Or class name is test class. Yeah. Let's execute it. We will get main and test, right? What if I need to execute test before main? If I need to just, there is my requirement, just like in test and zero and init we have some annotation before test, after test, before method. So yeah, that is also possible programmatically as well. If we are not using any unit test framework, just like NUnit and TestNG, then yeah, some programming concept, this may be asked at the time of interview, although we will not use it frequently. So in Java, it can be achieved by using static block, but in C sharp, this can be used. We need to create a static constructor for this. What is constructor? I'll explain you later. But this thing, if I need to execute some line of code before executing the main method, then that can be used. That can be done by using static constructor. So constructor would be same as the class name. How to declare constructor, I'll explain you everything in the separate session. There would be a separate session, single session for constructor, because this is very important topic. Okay, let me create one static public test class. Yeah, so this is how, let me define that. Yeah, let me say if I need to execute anything before, this is my static. Okay, if I need to execute anything before main method. Okay, let me say I can execute hello before main method, then just declare static constructor. This will do our job. Just the same as the class name. This is my class name, and using these curly braces, this will be work like a method and use the static keyword. Let's execute it. Then very soon, very first, which line will get printed? So my hello word should get printed first, and then the other executions. Let's see if it's work or not. Yeah, hello get printed before the main method. You see, then main method, and through the main method we are calling the test method. This is how it works. So there might be any kind of requirement. Hey, please execute this line of code before my main method. Just like these kind of things we are achieving using annotations. Okay, before annotation, before method, after method, before class, after class, at the time of test ng. So this kind of thing in programming, these can be used using the static constructor. Okay, this wasn't simple concept. Please keep this particular thing in your mind. Okay, so I think what's the time? I think this is enough for this session. Tomorrow we'll discuss in details the other concepts. Okay, these are small topics that I'm covering. Tomorrow we'll talk about encapsulation and some object oriented concept. Okay, is there any question?
No question.
Okay, okay, then it's fine. Thanks for joining the session, and so we'll join. So do you have any classes tomorrow, like in morning?
In the morning, I have a class, but it is 6:30 to 7:30.
Okay, okay, then we can start at 8.